Welcome to another episode of MAX101 with signals. I know you're probably getting sick of the word signals by now, but I want to tell you that there is a science behind how the signals are numbered. So you could say a certain signal, I'm at signal 18, well, there's actually a bunch of signal 18, and, then I could say, okay, well, now I know where you're at Rose Quarter. But how do you know? Well, let's dive into the science behind how the signals are numbered. So for the most part, the blue, red, and yellow lines are the signals are the distance from the 11th Avenue turnaround in downtown Portland. So let's go section by section. Let's start with the Banfield Freeway portion and the East Side MAX, the original MAX line to open in 1986. Again, these signals are all it's just a number, and the number is the distance, approximate distance from the 11th Avenue turnaround. So this here is signal 22. I think you can see the number 22 underneath the signal. Signal 22 is the eastbound signal at Lloyd Center. So it's about 2.2 miles from the 11th Avenue turnaround. The highest signal number is signal 160, which is one of the signals in Cleveland Avenue's tail track in Gresham. So again, approximately 16 miles from the 11th Avenue terminus. And now for the Westside MAX. This begins with a W and then a number right afterwards. The Westside MAX is everything west of the 11th Avenue turnaround. And again, the numbers increase as you go away from the 11th Avenue turnaround. So it's the same kind of deal. Signal W1056 is the westbound signal at Milwaukie. Where's the 1056? Why is it 1056? That means it's, again, about 10.56 miles from the 11th Avenue turnaround in downtown. The highest signal is signal W1778, which is one of the signals at Hatfield, furthest away from the turnaround. So again, about 17.78 miles from the turnaround. Now this is a little bit confusing, but for the Interstate MAX, the yellow line, well, originally the yellow line had a different route. After crossing the steel bridge, it used to follow the blue and red lines down to the 11th Avenue turnaround. It does not do this anymore, and it hasn't since 2009. But the signal numbering system is still put into place from the distance from the 11th Avenue turnaround, even though it doesn't serve it anymore. The signals here begin with a letter N. The first one is N2A and N2B, so signal N2, which is at the Rose Quarter area. And the highest is N62, which is one of the signals at the Expo Center, roughly 6.2 miles from the turnaround, the 11th Avenue turnaround, the one that it doesn't use anymore. So now let's go over the red line and green line where it extends from Gateway. So the way the signals are numbered here is it's kind of the same for distance. It's the distance from Gateway. So the airport extension is very simply a letter A with a number. The A for airport. So A88 is the lowest signal number. This is visible from Gateway. And signal A552 is the highest signal, and that one's for one of the trains at PDX. Again, about 5.52 miles from Gateway. For the Clackamas extension, the signals begin with a letter C, and again, it's its distance from the Gateway station. Signal C14 is the lowest signal number. This is by Gateway, by the area where it splits from the blue line and goes down I-205. And signal C630 is the highest signal. It is in the tail track at Clackamas Town Center, and again, about 6.3 miles from Gateway. Okay, well, this is a little bit confusing, but the Milwaukie extension, everything that extends from Portland State, is the distance from the steel bridge. Signal M196 is the westbound signal at Lincoln Street, which is the first stop on the extension. So I would assume this would be the lowest, 1.96 miles from the steel bridge. Now, unfortunately, I don't really know what the highest signal is here because the blog, MaxFacts blog, well, he hasn't posted since like 2013 or 14, which was before the orange line opened, and I haven't gone out there myself to film that signal, so I don't know what the highest is. You can't see it from Street View, but I would assume it's around the M800 area, meaning it's about 8 miles from the steel bridge. Now, of course, I will go down there someday and I will film the video and I will post it in the description if I ever go down there and film it. So check down there and see if I have a video of it. But yeah, for now I'm really unsure of what the signal is. And now the Transit Mall in downtown Portland on 5th and 6th Avenues. This is confusing. These also start with a letter M. All of them do. The Transit Mall was originally signaled with a letter M for mall all the way down. So when that mall first opened, it was all just signal M, which was, again, the distance from the steel bridge. But the orange line continues the numbering beyond Portland State. The lowest signal is M16, which is right on the steel bridge. And the highest signal is M176, which is used by trains in the Jackson Street turnaround. So now I'm just going to be throwing some theoretical stuff in the air because I really don't know, nobody knows yet because it hasn't been constructed, but the Southwest Corridor Light Rail, the extension of the Green Line to Tigard and Tualatin, well, obviously those are going to need to be signaled and those are going to need to have specific numbers. If I were to guess, we'll see if I'm right or not in the future, is that it would use a letter T. T for Tualatin, or Tigard Tualatin. Or maybe it'll use a letter B for Bridgeport. It could be a number of things. It will probably be kind of the same, where it'll be the distance from the steel bridge, so the numbers will increase from signal M176. The first signal would likely be T190 or B190 or something around there. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to find out what happens from there. And that's about it. This video went on way longer than it was supposed to, so I'll just spare you a long outro and I'll say, well, see you next time.